It's Laurie here at LAMOVIDA Sewing and Design Studios in lovely Vancouver. It is in fact today a sunny day, so we're enjoying that, except for
we're trapped inside now.
Sam and I are trapped inside on the first sunny day in five or 6 days.
Yesterday was pretty good though.
Yeah. And we're shooting
podcast. This is number 7.
No, really?
I think so. It might be number 6.
So we know no one's gonna watch till like episode number 100. So we're just winging it.
I don't know. The tailoring one was pretty exciting and good. It got like 3,000 views. Yeah, we're almost to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Look at how fast
so
I am. We are.
Maybe we'll be monetized here soon.
That would be so lovely to be monetized.
I know. I've been checking the stats and everything every single day, but we need a little bit more viewership before that happens. And like a couple more followers, but we're almost there.
Okay. So maybe with today's podcast, we'll make it happen. We'll tell you so much interesting stuff that you'll be like, I got to tune in and tell all my friends about what's going on at LAMOVIDA.
Yeah, Dave said that we have to tell people to subscribe more. So there's
yeah. Subscribe. Aren't you supposed to hit the button or subscribe below or something along those lines?
Yeah.
I don't see. I'm so up on my social media. I have no idea.
So today I just kind of wanted to talk about criticism in more detail because the tailoring video did relatively well for where we're sitting at this point. And I thought that the comments were really interesting on it. So I was going to read you off some of the comments. And then the other thing that kind of happened with that video is that when we were editing, we realized that we were so apologetic at the beginning. And that was just kind of annoying to watch. So
it's hard to know because I find it a bit annoying to watch anyways. I mean, not you, but my own self, right? I'm like, oh, I talk in circles and I'm not very linear and I say the wrong word. So it's very hard to listen back to your own self.
I think the tailoring video was good because it pressed, or I don't know, insisted upon some structure for us. Because if we're talking about these vague concepts and there's no linear through line, we definitely re-hit the same thing over and over again. Because I'll say it and then you'll say it, or vice versa, in a different way. So maybe that's really educational, but it might be a little bit annoying. We'll figure it out.
But seeing that I've told like every family member that they have to watch these or listen to them, I did get feedback from my family who are like,
are they actually watching?
Yes, they're all watching.
Oh.
But the only feedback is that they went, when you did that tailoring one, I had no idea what you were talking about,
That's
right?
really funny.
So when the content is too sewing or too has to do with that fashion, then they lose it. But they like all the other jibber jabber that we do. But the tailoring one, they were like, I liked it, but I don't understand anything you were talking about. So I think there'll be like maybe two audiences that some will skip through just to listen to us gossip about what's going on.
You're gonna have to learn some sewing information.
Yes, or vice versa. Some of our sewers who are not interested in our personal lives or what's going on will have to skip through and wait for all the tasty bits of information.
Your personal life. So we should start by talking a little bit about what's going on with us because you just got done with the youth term.
I did. Yeah, and we haven't really shared that. I don't even know if I've said much about it. So if you're all my family listening, then you already know this, but I'm going to be 60 next month. Mm-hmm. So that's how old I am. I'm almost 60. I'm a Gen Xer, right? Just on the cusp of being a Gen Xer. So that's my background. I know every lyric to every Who song that was ever written, but I have been I love Harry Styles, and I've listened to his
He's got a
record.
new album.
I know, and I've listened to it on rotate every single day for the past 3 days, and then I still go, is this Harry? Is this Harry? Because it just doesn't go in anymore. The brain is full. So any music or information that came in the first 30 years, I got it locked in. I'm locked. But any new information, it's a very touch and go whether it's going to go in there. So I think it'll be lovely. If I listen to Harry Styles' new album in 6 months, I'll be like, oh, this is a new song. It's lovely. It's a bit of a Groundhog Day. Like, oh my God, that's so nice. So yeah, and I'm married forever, 25 years, and I've been with my husband for like 30 years, so
he gave
forever.
us taller legs today.
Yes, his name is Dave, and he works in marine construction, and he built the studios for us. So he built all the studios, and he fixed the legs on our chairs because they were too short.
Still does.
Still does. He fixes the machines if they break down, and somebody broke our sign the other day, and he had to come in at 10 o'clock at night.
On St. Patrick's
Day, we have a sign out front that stands up, and it's got a weighted bottom. I didn't even know that this bottom was sand in the weight, and it's on springs, so it kind of will wiggle back and forth. And they jumped on it, and then started like wah wah wah, like riding
when they
it.
were drunk, I thought they just like bumped it too hard or something.
No,
but
they were riding it. There was a hole in the side of it, in the bottom side, like this big. And then it was cracked all the way down. So anyways, they're all lined up, like 300 people, because we're beside a pub for whatever. And I go to pull it in after working at 12, and sand just pours from the front door all the way in and all the way out. And because there's this big, huge hole. So he came in and with a hot glue gun and all.
I know, I saw his Velcro and hot glue to close it. It's quite the repair.
Yeah, right, quite the repair. And then brought the shop back over and cleaned up all the sand and let me go home and I'll take care of this for you, honey. So that was nice. But yeah, so he does that. He's a good guy. Mm. And I have 2 daughters, and I don't know. Jackie is going to be 21 soon, and Allie is going to be 24 in a couple of months.
Yeah. Allie's like around my age, and Jackie's like younger.
Yeah. And they both sew and craft, and they're both wicked chefs, cookers. They like to cook all the time, which used to be my old thing, right? I used to work in catering and restaurant business, so I don't cook anymore ever, but I gave my love of cooking and baking to them. So.
And to Dave.
And so, I taught my husband how to cook and inspired him. So now he does all the cooking in our house and not me anymore. I could do it. I like to lie on the couch now and go, you know what you should make? And then like make a menu and like give him a shopping list and all that kind of stuff. But I don't find much joy anymore in cooking. I did it all. I was talking to my daughters about it, saying like, until like they were out of high school, I cooked almost all the meals and stuff. So up until like 10 years ago, maybe, or 5 years ago.
So you were a homemaker.
Oh, full on. I wanted to be a housewife. Like
You wanted to be a housewife?
Yes, because my mom was a housewife, and then later, like when we left school, she went to work. Oh, but she was a full-on housewife, and I grew up at a time where that was like looked down upon, right? Like you don't want to be a housewife. Yeah, you should go to university.
Maybe
you go
living
to school.
out in the boonies.
Yeah,
never had that effect.
I mean, they still wanted us to have.
Housewife is still.
Yeah, no, they still wanted us to be very traditional, right? Like my alternative look was not looked on well, right? Yeah. We were still supposed to we still had to wear pantyhose to work. So some of those traditional things, and certainly even when I got married.
What are you wearing today? Are you wearing pantyhose?
No, I'm wearing leggings, tights. They didn't even have these when I was in high school there was no such thing as opaque tights. When I went,
spandex.
Because spandex wasn't really invented. Mm-hmm. They had knitted tights that ballerinas wore, which are like knitted, but they don't have any spandex in them. So they were always like, you could get wrinkles at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I used to wear 2 to 3 pairs of pantyhose at the same time. So I could get an opaque look. That
sounds so uncomfortable.
But you couldn't get opaque tights. You could only have like pantyhose. So I would buy black pantyhose and I would wear like 3 layers.
For the fashion.
For the fashion.
Did you ever rip them?
Uh-huh. So you could have some ripped in some places and holes, and then you'd put them on in different layers. But yeah, 3. And I was also fat, or whatever people said I was. Looking back, I wasn't.
I feel like I need a picture because it's hard for me to visualize. Like, I've definitely seen pictures of you as, like, peak mom when you first started here, that sort of thing.
That one there?
Yeah.
I'm fat? I'm not that fat. I wasn't.
No.
I wasn't, but I was
Mid-sized.
perceived because nobody was overweight when I was in school, right? Or heavy.
Oh no.
Like I was like 5'4" in grade 8. 5'4" in grade 8, and I was 125 pounds.
I guess this goes into criticism.
Right? So that's not very fat, but I was considered the fat girl.
120 pounds?
125 pounds, and I was like 5'4" or 5'5".
Oh, okay. 5'4". I was like, I weigh more than that, but I guess I'm a bit taller. So I'm like 5'6".
Yeah, well, I'm 5'5" now.
You grew.
Right? Yeah, in high school I grew like an inch and a half. I did. And then when I had babies, my rib cage grew.
Mm.
It never went back. Like, I weigh less now than I did.
No, you scared me with that because you talked about your feet, and then you're like, you should buy shoes. You should buy shoes. And then I'm like, I don't want to buy shoes because you're telling me if I get pregnant, my feet are gonna
just
grow,
buy them bigger.
and then I'm never gonna fit in my shoes.
Yeah.
I can barely fit my left foot into my Fluvog boots right now.
Yeah.
You know, like
I went from like an 8
there.
or an 8.5, and then after I had my kids, I'm a 9 or 9.5, a full size. So just buy them a full size bigger, or don't have children.
But then I'm gonna walk around and like.
But maybe the other thing you could do is you
my
could have your
feet
children
around.
earlier, because the body bounces back earlier. Like, I was almost 40, right?
Yeah, because you want me to have kids right now. That's something that you would be really.
I'm just saying, you don't have to wait till you're 40, because then my body didn't go back. Like, nothing
You
did.
were 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I was 36 when I had Allie, and 39, almost 40 when I had Jackie.
I got plenty of time to
So
figure that out.
yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, right? Because my husband's almost 10 years younger than me. So when I met him, I was 29, so we won't even talk about how old he was. And so I had to wait till he was old enough to have children with, because I knew that at his age, he was not old enough to have children. So I had to wait.
He was of age. I think we need to be clear, because if you're being too ambiguous, it seems like you.
Well, I was 29
like
when I
straight
met
up.
him, and he had just turned 21, like a month earlier. So
It's
there's like 8.5 years. He likes to say there's 9 years. Yes. But so I couldn't, like, I was ready at 30 to have children, but like he was 21, right? So there was like no way. So I had to wait. So he was 26 or something. And I thought that was totally fine. And now I look back and
So
I'm
you
like,
waited until he was 30
he was 26.
when you had kids?
Or he was 28. He was 28, I guess, when we had kids, right? Because I was 36 when I had my first one. So he would have been 28.
Okay.
He would have been 28.
You were 40 with Jackie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. I would have had them way earlier, and I would have had way more. But I couldn't. I love children. I love babies. Oh, so that's where we were going. The roundabout was, yes, I was raised not to be a housewife.
Yeah.
Do all the housewife duties, right? You
I
were
forgot.
still supposed to cook and clean and do all of those things, right?
Yeah.
But you were all supposed to be a career person, right? We all went to university.
Yeah,
that was
she could
expected.
have it all.
She could have it all. That was our area, right? So you still had to have children. You still had to have a shower and a baby shower and get married and get china for your wedding gifts and make a household. But you were also going to go to university, and you were going to have a job. And the problem is that I didn't like real jobs. I loved everything about being a housewife. Like, I love children and I love babies, and I don't even mind tidying up, but I like to cook. I like to sew. Like, I like all the domestic chores. I like to paint.
I understand that.
I like
for sure.
interior decoration.
Yeah.
I haven't done it much lately, although I'm about to reupholster some chairs for the first time, but I did all the curtains, all the slip covers, all the bedspreads, all the duvets. I made everything.
Yeah.
Everything in my life, in my apartment, and table mats and table runners and placemats and everything. So I was like, I really would like to be a housewife and not have to go to this stupid job at the bank or whatever, right? Like,
Well,
I would
at
have
that
made
point, you were working your worst job.
working my worst job, but I would have made, and I liked taking care of other kids and playing, and I like messes, and I was so creative, right? Us kids, with my kids, we did food. I refused, this is my parenting, I refused to do any homework with my children ever. If the homework got sent home, I just put it in the garbage.
Well, wait, you didn't let them do the homework?
I told the teachers up until grade 8, not in high school, they were on their own to do whatever. But
Yeah.
prior to that, there was no homework. I said to the teachers, don't even bother sending it home.
That's pretty tough. Yeah, today I have here tofu. If you don't know, you probably don't. I recently moved to a farm, but I don't know if my dad's watching this, but it makes me nervous because I don't tell him about my personal life, like at all. So
He doesn't even know you have a dog.
no, he knows I have a dog because Tofu learned his best skills from my father because my dad's really good with dogs. But yeah, previous to living in Vancouver, I grew up in Ohio, so a lot of my background is American. So I kind of had that to add to the mix. And then I moved out here because I have family here, and then got lucky enough to have this job at LAMOVIDA. So I've been here for 4 years, and then recently moved to Vancouver Island to live on a farm, which is a controversial conversation around here because Laurie really thinks I should be in the city. And I am a bit of a city person, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, we got to talk about criticism. Are you ready for these comments? So if you didn't watch the video, you really should, because I think it's been our best one yet. We reviewed tailoring TikToks, and that made me really nervous because the last time we did it was just Laurie, and we got in a little bit of trouble with a big influencer because we were being too mean, I guess. So then I was like, I never want to be mean. It is purely for our educational circumstance. And then at the beginning of the tailoring video, we like go around and around for like 10 minutes of like why we don't want to be mean and how it's just supposed to be critique and not an attack. So we got some good comments pertaining to that, specifically about criticism, but I also think we should talk about some of the more tailoring based ones, just because I didn't respond to any of the comments. It seemed like they're long comments. All of them are like a paragraph long.
Are we supposed to comment back? Are we supposed to comment back when they send comments? Should we? Do you want us to? Do we? Should we?
It's a good question to ask. I kind of held most of them close, just because it's, if I respond to a paragraph long comment, then it's like a lot of my time to respond. My understanding, and I do it for the Instagram and the TikTok, is responding to comments drives engagement. So then, you know, the algorithm's like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people talking in here, I should send more people. So in general, I think it's good, but like, they're all quite long.
Which is lovely.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The first one came in, and it was very long and in big defense of you. So I think that was like really relieving, because I was really waiting for, when we posted it, I was horrified that it would come back, that we'd get in trouble, and that everyone would hate us.
It's so funny because we're learning about this, right? Is that a lot of hate? Because I said, like, I was saying to Sam that I saw some TikTokers and they always bring up when they have negative comments. And I said, why would you bring up having a negative comment? As someone who's watching them, I'm not looking at the people I'm following's comment. I'm just seeing what they're posting or whatever. But it turns out if you comment your own self on your criticism, then people will go and look at the comments, and it generates more views, and it generates. So it is a strategy to identify criticism or identify when people are mean to you. And so it's they almost like it, right? Right? It's kind of strategic. You frame, oh my gosh, someone said something mean about me and I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. And then that drives like all this. And so we're a little bit more genuine in that our content really is meant to be helpful.
Yeah.
And that's what we want, be helpful.
Yeah.
And criticism is only meant to come off as like, I feel that when people are posting things that aren't true or posting tailoring that doesn't work, all that, mine is not to criticize them, but to say, here we are, and here's something that will really work. You know, sort of like not really pointing out someone specifically making a mistake, but that those things exist, mistakes exist, right? Or bad, or poor, not bad, better language, poor technique exists. How's that for being like politically correct? I'm still not. Sam still has to bleep out half the shit I say. Okay.
Gotta keep it PG, I guess. Okay. So reading some of these, I replied to these two because they were short. The first one was, we're bringing gussets back. Thanks for the video. It was so informative. Greetings from Brazil. I didn't know that gussets weren't in. But
well, I would say that they're primarily not in because fast fashion doesn't really have them. It's now companies who are trying to set themselves apart and be specialized and go, look what we can do, right? We can put an arm gusset into our sportswear and make it. So I think
it's a lot of sportswear that comes from
it, right? It was sportswear, but not in like women's sportswear, meaning like in outdoor wear, not sportswear, right? Sportswear is like what women's wear, right?
Athletic wear?
Athletic wear.
Athleisure?
Athletic wear is bringing the gusset back in. And in some, like we were talking about, in some clothing lines where they're looking for more active designs, like a more active wear design in their street clothes.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
So the gusset's in.
Very informative. I came to the realization that sewing and tailoring are two different things. I was taught how to quilt, but clothes are a whole different thing. I find you're either one or the other. But yeah, sewing and tailoring are very different, and I find when people come in, it is important to differentiate to them that you are learning two different skill sets. Because if you want to learn how to make clothes, then you go through that whole pathway, and then I guess you can learn to tailor. But if you're just gonna tailor, that's like a whole thing that you can expand upon.
Yes.
Don't bark.
Yes.
Okay, and then this is the big long one that I don't think I even responded to, but it does have a reply.
Holy.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's so long.
Give me the pertinent parts then, maybe.
Oh, you want me to create a synopsis of this?
Or
chat GPT in it. Okay.
What's the gist? Or you can read it out. Cool.
I'm 71, have been sewing for over 60 years. I also quote, which is very different from garment sewing. And then she goes on. This is from @Cork Pop, by the way.
How does
I'm
a
sorry.
71 sewer find us?
I think there's a pretty big YouTube market for, the whole range of sewers. I think
Cool.
they're all online. And if Laurie's not really involved with the social mediaing actively. Like,
No.
you don't really participate in any of the groups or anything, but you do watch. But there's a whole, like, sewing over 50 hashtag. Like, there's a whole community. Tofu. It's okay.
Yes, I guess, of course there is.
Yeah, but they're all over. Love this comment. I'm sorry, but showing someone that what they're doing wrong isn't mean. The first video with the skirt was appalling. It's wrong, all kinds of wrong, and shouldn't have been posted as a way to take that in.
So you're saying, so you can say what you can say now. You can say that she said it, and that's what you wanted to have said. It should never have been posted, and it was all come kind of wrong.
The directness of this. Yeah, she goes to go on about the t-shirt, and then she says, big mistake. I'm very happy that young people are embracing sewing. It is a skill that needs to be practiced at home. This means good instructions. If you can't take sewing classes, then get a really good book like the Vogue sewing book. We have it over there. You need to learn terms and how fit is determined. Yeah. Tofu. It's okay. Okay.
He's worried about the criticism. He's all choked up.
Tofu?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
Tofu. You're gonna be banned from the podcast, dude. I'll just cut it out. Okay. Tofu. Air gel. Yeah, someone responded and was like, wow, that was long.
Can't you can do YouTube on twice the speed, can't you?
No,
Yes.
no. I think she's responded to this comment.
Oh,
it is a comment below that comment.
Oh, that's commenting on hers. It's saying that
someone
she was
being like, wow, that's long.
Oh, I thought that they were saying our podcast was too long.
Yeah, and the synopsis of this, the end, she concludes that, like, learning how to do the correct way will save you a lot of time in the long run, which I think is a big point that we're trying to get at in criticizing the tailoring TikToks, because a lot of the time the sewing that I see on the internet is like fast and loose. Like, they're not pinning, they're not putting together, they're just like shooting it down the side. They're not analyzing how the garment's made, but you can destroy a lot of garments doing it that way. So then it's wasteful, and then it may not work the way you're expecting it. So it's nice to kind of like puzzle piece and figure things out, but if you're not taking the time to actually understand how the garment is and learn about garment construction, then in a lot of ways you're wasting your time, because you're never going to get better.
Yes. Well, I'm always sort of surprised, and I am. People come on and go like, oh, here are the top 5 things I wish I knew as a new sewer that no one told me. And then they say like 5 obvious things, and I'm like, if you didn't know those things, then you haven't like checked out like the 5 things you should know. Like, can't you just Google like the 5 things you should know when you're starting sewing? Because they always list off like 5 like really regular things.
Oh.
And I was like, you just needed to start sewing and go Google like the top 5 things I should know when starting to sew. Because we haven't even posted that because there's like 500 of them and they're all pretty much the same. Like there isn't any gatekeeping on some of those things.
They get crazy engagement. I've been thinking about that one because I'm like, maybe we should be doing something like that. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, it's been so long since I have started to sew. They're always like, these are the 5 things that I wish I knew before I started sewing. And it's because these people started sewing last year. So, and then they don't take the time to like actually learn from people who know or don't have the resources from experienced professionals.
You just have to Google it. The Googly will tell you.
Sometimes. I think a lot of people just look it up on YouTube too. And anyone can make a video.
I know, but even when I'm sourcing new techniques, which I go on lots of time to source new techniques or new ways of doing things, I'm looking at 4 or 5, right? I mean, maybe I have a discerning eye, but
you do have a discerning eye.
But I think that I'm going like, I'll take 5 different videos and see if there's some commonality of what they have. But if like someone's an outlier or there's something weird, then I might like look a little bit further. Sometimes I like to, if I'm going after someone who I'm watching, I might like look and see like how long they've been posting. Sometimes I'm a little wary how young they are.
You're giving all the notes of media literacy, and that's something that's going down with the younger years, people, media literacy. So people aren't examining and looking; they're just clicking on the top one and taking that as Bible.
Yes. Well, I've talked about this a little bit, was just saying like, because of when I grew up and because the phone and the iPad are like new in the later part of my life, I think that they are like so fantastic, right? They're so fantastical, but my girls who've always had them don't see it that way. So like when they have their phone in their hand, they're like, how do I get somewhere, Mom? Or what about this? Or what about that? What's the average price of broccoli? They'll call me. And I'm like, you have a computer in your hand. Like you're calling me and I'm just going to like Google it, right?
Yeah.
Because they do like, oh, Mom, brisket's on sale. Is that a good price? And they say like $6.99. I'm like, I don't shop anymore. I don't know what the cost of brisket is, but then I can Google it. What's the cost of brisket, and it'll tell you. But they just use it as a communication source. That's what they think of their phone as. They don't look at it as a source of information differently than me. I communicate on it a little bit. Like I don't answer my phone very much, but I use it more as a source of information. Like I look at that as my encyclopedia or my whatever.
I've started watching Downton Abbey. Have you watched it?
Not Downtown, Downton. There you go. Sorry, didn't mean to call you out.
No, that's fine. Everyone was going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
You're taking away our criticism comments.
Oh, sorry. Go back.
Let me pronounce it wrong.
See, I told you. I go round and round and round and round.
But it's just the sets have a lot of books. Like the whole walls are filled with books. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, is this realistic? Would they have that many books? And then it clicked in my brain that they needed that many books because you can't just go to the internet and look up what a Bichon frieze is. You need to like find B and look through the encyclopedia and then look it up, and that's how you know.
Well, even
that's an aside.
I know that's an aside, but David just built me bookshelves at our new apartment.
Yeah.
Because he says we have 8 boxes of books in storage.
Yeah.
Because I had books because I was pre-internet, so I have hundreds of books. But it's kind of funny because they've been in storage for the past years because we haven't had a place to put them. And I'm like, do we put up bookshelves or we just give the books away, right? Like,
what books do you have?
I have like all the classics, like Wuthering Heights and Bronte Sisters and Slaughterhouse 5, like all of those. And I have some fashion books and I have art books up the wazoo. Because I used to be an art teacher, right? So I have big fat books on Frida Kahlo and all Jackson Pollock's works and
probably good money in there.
Interior design books and stuff, like tons. And cookbooks forever. Like I probably own 200 cookbooks.
It's a lot of cookbooks.
It's not. In the old days, that's what you did. You had cookbooks. You didn't have, and just like when you get up now and you look at your phone, we would get a new cookbook and you'd get up in the morning, take your coffee to bed, and then you would open your cookbook and look at the pictures and flip through it and whatever. And you used your cookbook as like your thing that you would do, like you scroll. or your interior design book or whatever. It was a thing. Anyways, we'll go on to criticism. I feel criticized.
This one is specifically about our conversation at the beginning about the critique that we're about to give. Okay. I'm 32. I like that everyone gives their age. And I agree with Laurie. It's a bit scary that we are allowed to provide criticism without covering it in sugary, sweet compliments. When I think back on my professional and personal life, the moments in which I grew the most were when my bosses and relatives and friends gave me direct feedback. Don't act like that at work. You need to stop eating shit and get your life together. These comments came after too many years of being enabled by people who were either well-meaning or truly did not care about me. I enjoyed Laurie's commentary through this video. The only recommendation I would provide is trying to remain unemotional while providing critique. I think this rubs people the wrong way, which is why criticism is paired with apparent incredulity.
Incredulity, yeah.
As it can veer into feeling condescending. And then there's two comments responding to this comment being like, that resonates with me, telling the truth shows love. And then someone said powerful feedback, XO. So it was really validated to see these come in, and they came in soon after we posted the video because I was horrified. And I'm definitely of the opinion that I like to be direct with people and explain to them what's going wrong and try to figure out a way to make it better, because I'm very like goal oriented and I want things to go together in an efficient way that's like the best possible. So I think in my day-to-day life I try to be fairly honest with what I'm seeing and what's going on, but the internet's scary. And we have a lot of sass, and I think we're both pretty emotional speakers. So it's hard, especially when you've been sewing for so long, to get on the internet and see someone who's like got all these views and attention, and like you're like, but that's not correct. So then it can feel like, why is this person misleading so many people?
And they make money at it. Like, we're Canadian, so we don't even make money at it. They go down there and they make money spewing not good. Well, again, I think a couple of things come in on this. It is for me, when I was learning how to sew, everything was different, and it was very critical. Like super critical. Like, our instructors at design school didn't hold any punches, right? Like, it was like, that's terrible, that's not sewn right, that's wrong, you're doing that wrong.
My design school experience was the same.
Yeah, like
I think you're going into a room with the board of directors with your final collection and showing them all it, and they're telling you what they do and do not like. It's up to you whether or not you change that, but it is going to reflect in your grade. Yeah,
but we were sewing on sewing machines, and there's no marking for 5/8 on it. You had to know what 5/8 was by looking at it. You had to know what your seam allowances were without any marking on the machine. And then you were not called out, but like the teacher would be sort of disgusted. Like, how are you going to be a fashion designer? Not in that many words, but like, how are you going to be a fashion designer if you can't measure 5/8 with your eyes? Like, if you don't know where it is. Like, how are you going to make something if you don't know what that is? Sort of like, how could you be a carpenter if you don't know what a hammer is? Like, it was that, like, you got to do this and you got to know it. And and that was like always the critique, right? Like, when your clothes came out, they're like, there's a pucker there, and that's uneven, and that doesn't line up, and that buttonhole is a 3, and they could see all of those things from 10 feet away. Like, she could, like, I can now, right? But they could, yours, like, how did they notice that? But they were like, there's a pucker there, and that collar's not on, and that's that, and that's that. And they would say, you know, at the end, like you're saying, or it was understood, if that's the way you want it, or if that's acceptable to you, totally fine. But I just want you to know that that's what I see. And so then you could make all your own choices. I'm fine with that pucker. I don't mind that it's uneven. If my plaids don't line up, it's a look. I'm going for it. My hem's falling down because
Sounds some,
you know,
like some bad decisions.
Yes, and then you try and own your bad decisions if you want, or say, like our kids always say, I want it that way.
Yeah, but we don't let that slide.
We don't let that slide. So I have to say
They're
to
right.
them, I'm teaching you. They always go, I don't want to hem it, or I don't want to do this, or whatever. And then I said, I'm here to teach you how to sew, and I'm going to teach you how to do this step, because this is what it looks like. If you want to go home and take the seam out and have raw edge clothes, go for it. But we are here learning how to do this step. So there's an aesthetic to your design, and I can appreciate that. But also, we're here to do it. So the last project, I don't want pockets. I don't want pockets. I know why they don't want pockets. They can't be bothered to put them on. They've got to sew them on. But I say, we're putting pockets on. I don't like pockets. They don't look good. And I'm like, we're putting them on because I'm teaching you how to put a pocket on, because you're here at a sewing class and you're going to learn how to put a pocket on. And you want to take it off when you get home, take it off when you get home. But I'm teaching you something.
Yeah.
If I don't teach you how to put a pocket on, then forever you'll be a sewer with no pockets on your clothes. That's no good. But we deal in the world of, world of criticism all the time, right? Because we have to be critical. And in teaching, you have to be critical, but also in what's right and what's not, but using a language that is informative, that is positive as best you can. So we're trying to bring that to when we're criticizing other things, but we're bringing that to the table when we teach all the time, right? So there's a levity to it, right? And there's also to be like, you know, the students drive, their stitches go down the pant leg like this, and I'm trying to teach them how to sew, and they're not taking enough time to go slowly. So there's a criticism, right? You have to say the line needs to be straighter, and we're going to try that again. And do you need some help going straighter? Is there some reason? Do we need to go slower? So you're trying, but you are criticizing. And then when they do it the third time, I say, are you drinking beer in there? Like, are you drunk? Because you're driving like a drunk person. And then they look at me because they're 8 and they're not really sure what drunk is. And then I'm like, okay, that's not probably a good way to teach the kids. They're going to go home and say to their parents, Laurie said I was drunk today.
It's a good thing we're in a more liberal area, because I think the parents find it a little bit amusing.
Yes. I'm never offensive. I'm just trying to be a little bit silly. And also, I mean, I don't always, but say something, because you're going to be critical, but you're trying to make lighthearted. Like, we're all making mistakes. We're all going to try again. And then to be a little bit, levity.
I think in my experience with teaching adults as well, or even some kids, is that sometimes they're so anxious about receiving or perceiving themselves to do anything wrong, that then you have to like be very gentle with them while trying to guide them in the right direction. So when we're getting online and correcting the poor instruction or construction, I don't want it to seem like we're taking that into our class and that we're being really harsh. But the other side of it is that it's cathartic for me. I want to yell on the internet about why this person's doing it wrong, just like I do when I'm scrolling through my feed and I see these things come up. Laurie sends me them all the time, and it's
because you know what, I
don't know why it feels offensive. But
no, but
like,
it's because the part of it that I find offensive, and we've talked about this before, and I've said it a million times. If I had taken the path to be a medical professional and put as much school and as much time and as much effort as I have into sewing, I would be a brain surgeon, right? Like, I have tens of years of experience, but also lots of classes and lots of sewing and lots of mentoring and too much.
Yeah.
And I teach sewing and I sew. And so when someone comes onto the playing field and has nothing and has been doing something as a hobby sewist for a year, and then they want to stand up and go, this is the way it is, then you'd be like Trump saying that acetaminophen gives us ADHD or whatever. Like, it's just plain wrong. Like, it's not true. And somebody's standing there pretending to be an authority about something that they know literally nothing about.
Yeah.
And it's offensive because I've taken a lot of time to it, and I feel disrespected.
They don't even know you. Yeah.
But I feel Well, as I'm sure many specialists, when they came up with that thing about the acetaminophen or whatever, were offended.
Yeah.
Right? It's like somebody who doesn't know
That's a good
anything,
analogy.
or somebody who wants to make money off of something, or trying to shift the attention,
Yeah.
is saying something that's completely false. And so I'm sure the doctors who knew better, or that whatever, said like, how dare you come and discredit all the hard work we put in to diagnose it or whatever. And that's how I feel. I feel like,
and then we receive it as people coming in, and when you're inspired to sew via the internet and you come in and you have this expectation that it's going to be easy, or that you can kind of freehand it, or it's all willy-nilly, then it makes it harder as professionals and instructors, and then it gives them the false perception that what we do is just easy, that it didn't take years of honing it and learning and constant tweaking and criticism to get to the point where you can look at a seam and be like, that's a pucker.
yes.
It's the
You know what analogy?
Miranda Priestley the whole speech that she gives in The Devil Wears Prada about the cerulean sweater. It's like, you don't think that all these people who came before you put that together for you to wear.
I mean, I know this is a funny analogy, but there's this guy on Dr. Pimple Popper, and he had this cyst or whatever on his leg, and he removed it himself. So he has them out, and he just like, and so he's telling her, oh yeah, I got rid of it myself. She goes, what'd you do? He goes, no anesthetic or anything. I just cut into it with a sharp X-Acto knife, and I popped it out, and then I sewed it up. And that's like some sewers, right? It's like, so now is he like a Dr. Pimple? Is he like a
Some
doctor
people
surgeon or
are
whatever?
on the internet.
Yeah, he
pimple
thinks
popping.
he knows what he's doing. And she's like, I went to school for 10, 20 years. I've been doing this. You might have got your pimple out that way. That's not a good thing. Like, that's not the way to do it. You know, don't get on the internet and show people how to do that. It might work, but it's not the way. So, I mean, we talked about this in our business thing. Like, if you're going to run a business, anything that takes a degree to do, don't do yourself, right? So we talked about that a little bit, saying like, if you have a business, don't be your own accountant if you're a fashion designer or a plumber, because accountants have degrees. So give them that, and don't write your own contracts. Let a lawyer do it, because that's the sort of the same thing, is that I'm super keen for anyone to start. And I started hacking on the sewing machine myself, and mistake after mistake, right? There are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents or learning experiences. So I did it that way. So I don't have any problem. Like, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then do not come on to the Googlies or the TikTokers and say, this is the way that it's done.
Yeah, it is the conveying that your substance of authority, which you're supposed to, I guess, do to get engagement on the internet. So maybe we need to be a little bit better about that. But I don't mind it when, like, the girl at the end of the video who's like completely messed up her pants, and then she was like, oh, I messed up. There's like, they don't want to show that they're making mistakes on the internet because they want to be like, it's this easy and you should do it this way, and I'm the figure of authority in this, so that people consume it and then use their video as a tutorial instead of it being a level in entertainment. So why is there no distinction of, I'm a professional, I have this experience, this is what you should do, versus, I learned this last year, I'm sharing my experience, don't do that.
But, you know, I guess, too, I'm just thinking about this, which is not very, there are many, many people who go on, maybe not so much teaching, but show their good sewing or show their outfits that turn out. But unfortunately, some of them are really boring.
Yeah.
And so they're not getting engagement, or I'm not engaged with them. They're doing lovely sewing, but I'm just like, So I guess I'm a bit of a victim.
Someone who's entertaining.
Someone who's entertaining.
And knows a lot.
Knows a lot. To share their information. So a little entertaining and a little information that's accurate.
We'll have to think about that one.
Who could do that?
Okay. We gotta continue. Is it important?
They're running the next season of Project Runway.
I know, I saw that, but
anyways, we digress.
Yeah, we should have talked about that first off. Maybe we wrap it up with that. I know, I sent that to you. Okay. Yeah, this one was, I enjoy the professional take. Even the lady who made my wedding dress said that she did not do men's tailoring. It was just something she did not want to touch. One thing is taking in the bottoms. Another thing is as you say, is changing the whole garment. Yeah, there's plenty of people who spec into one area of expertise, and it takes a lot of time to learn how to do that accurately. The next one, about the woven shirt. Yeah. She also forgot that woven fabrics demand a little slack for movement purposes. I feel like they do a lot when they're sewing things on the internet. You're just gonna like rip that whole thing open. Because
you've lost me. What are we talking about? Who?
The button-up shirt.
Yes.
Where she sewed it like skin tight. So this person's saying that you need slack. The way she altered her shirt, she can't use her muscles. Her buttons will pop. Doing all this work and forgetting that humans are round. And that doesn't make sense. Doing all this work and forgetting that humans are round and never still is sad. I don't know. Being a pattern teacher, I realized how difficult it is for most people. People are three-dimensional, moving bodies. Making tailored patterns is hard, but retailoring a finished garment is harder. It takes a lot of time. It does take a lot of time. It's not a quick fix.
Well, and that's how do I want to say this to not get Sam mad at me? But I'm super happy with people like, not so much upcycling, because sometimes that's a bit problematic, but I mean like tailoring, like buying clothes at the thrift or and doing that. Is not I'll do it in small ways, but like when people want to redo something, it takes a lot of work. And fixing and tailoring and changing garments is like my least favorite thing to do. So if you're learning it, you really have to, and it's expensive to get someone else to do, you have to learn it and do it for yourself. Because if someone comes to me, which they do all the time, and I don't do it, saying, fix this thing for me, or fix this, or I bought this and I just want it tighter, or I bought this and I want that, it's very difficult, and the results are mixed. And doing it for someone else is really challenging because I don't know what their expectation is. And we all expect it to look like a picture, especially if we're not really great at sewing. So like we were talking about this once, that this lovely lady calls in and she says she can never get a dress to fit her. She wants to come in and she wants me to help her put some darts and some seams in her dresses because they don't fit her. They're always loose around the waist. And she wants
this one.
Right? And so I'm like, I can do that. And I'm like, you can't find it. So anyways, she gives me this whole thing. So I'm like, sure, I can give you a tutorial on darts and pleats or whatever. We can figure it out. So she comes in, cutest little bit of a thing, really tiny, short torso, really tiny torso, like 22-inch waist, ample butt, ample bosom. So very hourglass. So she's having trouble fitting here. She brings me in 3 garments. They're all stretch. They're all spandex. And she wants the back, no back in them.
Okay.
No back. So it is, I tried to explain to her that you cannot put darts and
just buy a Skims.
What do you call it? Can't put darts and, what are those things called?
Princess seams?
Princess seams or whatever in stretchy clothes.
The
garment has to be cut to your shape.
You
can't put it in because the seams will pop. You can't put a straight stitch.
Well, and then she's
in a stretchy fabric
to be open.
And then she wants the back open, which means there's nothing to hold the garment back. So that's why it's bagging out in front, because it's being pushed out by her bosom and there's nothing to pull it back. So I was explaining to her, like, we can't do this. Like, you can't have no back. And we can't put darts in the dress. The dress has to have a back, and then you can have it figure shape,
it's
like
gonna be
Kim
easier
Kardashian.
To start from scratch.
Starts from scratch, and you have to have very stretchy fabric. But it's very difficult if you have a short torso and you have big boobs to get that fabric to wrap around your boobs, then come down and around. It has to be like a full 360 bandage dress.
That's why you made them.
But But it's like, it's impossible.
That wasn't offensive to me. But I also had a lot of experience with that in bridal. It's like, you want to look your best on the day of, and then they'd always come in, and at the time, the most common thing was the mermaid dress. With the flare out at the bottom, and Kardashian was big. So they'd come in, and they'd be like, I just want you to take in, and then they grab like 6 inches from the back of their ass, and be like, take that in. And then I'd have to be like, you're not going to be able to walk or sit down. I can't make that happen for you. So then you have to negotiate with them what their expectation is.
They just showed, to that end though, they just showed a little clip, or I saw a little clip of Kim Kardashian coming away from the Oscars.
Yeah.
And they were talking about her because she had this gold lame dress on. Famous dress by somebody, I can't remember.
Always.
Yeah, but vintage of some sort, like it's not this year or whatever.
Mm.
And they were talking about her shoes because she had $89 stripper shoes on.
Oh yeah, the plastic.
So the plastic, right? So they were talking about how cheap her dress was, like, I don't know, thousands and thousands, and she had $89 stripper dresses on. And the comment was that the shoes are not made to walk in. You cannot physically walk in them.
Yeah.
And some reason she wanted to be that tall and the dress to hit the floor. So she had the stripper shoes on. And then they showed a picture of her, and she was being almost carried in. She was standing like this, and somebody had this elbow and somebody had this elbow, and they were basically lifting her up as she pretended to walk because she couldn't walk in it. So that's the problem, is that when you have people come and say, I want to look like this or I want to look like that, they don't realize that the stars are not walking in these dresses.
Sure, you can get it taken in at the butt like that, but as long as you have a bunch of people to carry you in, because the stars are not walking. Lots of them, when they're going up and down the stairs at the Met Gallery or the Met Gala, are being carried up and down. There's no way in that dress, if it's that tight, that they can actually walk. And there was like the fun one, the one that had she had like, I can't remember who it was. I know I should know all these names off the top of my head, but it looks like a violin on the front of her dress. It was corseted and it had like a violin shape like this. And then they show her halfway through, and she's standing at her seat. She's just, because she can't sit in it. So she gets to lean on her chair, and she's at like the Met Gala the whole time. Yeah. The Oscars, not the Met Gala. Or is that
that one was from the Met Gala.
Okay.
But yeah, she couldn't, just lots of them, they don't sit. They get dragged out of the car.
And if you want to do that on your wedding, go crazy.
Yeah, but all the wedding, don't they all want the dress to hit the floor?
Yeah, hit the floor, exactly.
And I know in my wedding day, everyone says, if it hits the floor, you're going to eat the floor. Because if your dress hits the floor in the front, you're going to trip over it the whole time. Or spend the whole time holding it up.
We put in a lot of bustles for that reason.
Yeah, but that's the back. Mine was bustled at the back, but I still wasn't allowed to have it hit the floor on the front.
Yeah, you got to walk a certain way. You got to kick it out as you're walking. So during the stylists at the place that I work at would train the brides to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a way to do it, but it's a little fussy. Okay.
That's what Jennifer Lawrence didn't do when she tripped on her dress and fell walking up the steps.
She tripped on her dress?
Yeah, when she won her Academy Award like a million years ago. She was going up, she had a big white dress on, and she had to walk up the stairs, and she stood on the front of her dress and ate the stairs, and they all came and saved her. But it's because when you're going up steps, right, your dress is puddled in front of you.
Yeah.
So you have to do a weird thing when you go up steps to kick the dress or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many millions of times have I run up the stairs at home and stood on my dress and you don't fall down, but you go up the stair and step on the front of your skirt, because I'm always wearing crazy long skirts. Okay, sorry. Criticism.
My company made their women's uniforms from men's uniforms by taking in only the back seam, like you're showing. It caused horrible pain in a previously injured disc of my lower back. Shirts were men's polo knit. So it fit over my girly bum. To fit it over my girly bum, I had to get a big size that was huge at the shoulders. Knowing how to sew properly improved my working life. That was decades ago. And today, for the life of me, I don't understand how unisex sizing became a thing.
There is no such thing as unisex sizing.
I think there's fitting things to your body. If you want it to be...
Yeah, but when they sell something with unisex, it's just a man's thing.
Yes, but that's our discussion in the previous video about making gender inclusive clothes. Specifically,
don't make me roll my eyes.
Okay, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
Making gender inclusive clothes specifically for a bit more straight figure, like a more masculine figure, and they always put on like that square dress, is even if you're a man with a giant caboose, there is some tailoring that needs to happen in order for that garment to fit you properly. So no matter what, when we're talking about unisex, we go into like this straight sizing, baggy clothes, oversized fit, which is fine, but I don't think that's necessarily bending the gender norms. I know in watching Downton, Abby, at the beginning they're talking about wearing pants, so she comes in and she's wearing pants, and like everyone's shocked in the room and amazed. So I know historically there was, nope, you have to stay. There were a lot of restrictions on what women could wear, meaning that now unisex to us means that women get to wear pants. And that's still the narrative that we're creating. But what I'm getting at is that if we're making gender fluid clothes, then just fit the clothes to that person's body and don't change the style. My bridal collection is gender inclusive because I will tailor it to fit you, instead of it being like, I'm gonna make this specific dress, tofu stay, sit. I'm gonna make this specific dress just for a masculine figure, and then it's like the most god-awful outfit. So if we're talking about being gender inclusive or making unisex clothes, maybe we just make clothes and the emphasis is on tailoring, and maybe that's a discussion about marketing and how it's more expensive to tailor clothes. So
I know it's been my experience and is that I love the idea of fluidity between the clothes.
mm-hmm.
But it's just that there's just been so much pandering to, and in the past, this idea of gender neutral or clothes or unisex. And in my opinion, that just means if it's a man. So if I'm going in to buy some stuff like team shirts or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on a golf team, because I used to work in banking, and you go like, I want some t-shirts for my team. They go, oh, these are unisex. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're just men's shirts. Like, that's how we get to unisex. And I find that a bit offensive. It's not unisex. You're just going to make all the women wear men's clothes. And so because I was in banking, 80% of us were women and 20% were men. And for some reason, we all had to golf because, I don't know, that's a man thing. So there's always golf tournaments. And then all the prizes, all the clothes, all the uniforms were all men. And I'm like, you got 80 women out here on the golf field, all in oversized men's shirts. And I thought, like, no, let's get 80% of them, let's get 100% women's shirts and make the dudes wear them. And then, of course, then there's like outrage, like, oh, it couldn't possibly have that.
I think we should be putting men's and women's shirts. I want them in the tight little,
but that's what I'm saying. If you're
with
gonna
the little sleeve cap,
if
cinch
you're
in
going,
the waist.
Yeah, if you're going back and forth, then we can go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I want to see some men in some low-rise jeans where their ass of their crack shows.
We're getting so far from the point. Okay.
I always do. I'm like meandering.
Here we go. Online hate is the norm, unfortunately. If you don't believe you did anything wrong, then just reply to it or ignore it. Those are two separate things. I think ignoring it is totally the way going forward. Because you kind of have to stand by what you're saying instead of backpedal. And we're not trying to be mean.
But can I ask, like, why?
What?
Maybe I live in a bubble, but like, I don't feel like I live in a world where people are that critical. It's this online thing that's weird. Like, it would never occur to me to just blast someone to be critical. The worst that I would do is I disagree with your point of view because A, B, or C, right? I've done that before. I've been a real advocate for kids with learning disabilities, right? Because my kids did and went to special schools. And I'm part of a bunch of Facebook groups. And one of the things that sort of rubs me the wrong way a lot is a lot of people want to pull their kids out of school and homeschool them because they're not getting their needs met because they have like dyslexia, like my girls did. And I'm a little bit critical about that because I think that's a very selfish, in many ways, a selfish solution when you should be advocating for your kids to get better training or to give something, but just to bring them home, then they miss out on so much more. And I'm always saying, like, find more solutions than that. If that makes sense. Because I don't think as parents we're the best teachers always.
Yeah.
Right. And if you were a teacher or you have some background, but lots of parents just go like, oh, they're not getting a great experience, I'm going to homeschool them. And I'm like, whoa, try and find. But it's always not, I'm not going like, you're an idiot, don't do that. Like, I don't know anyone, but that's the kinds of criticisms that it seems to be on the internet. And I'm like, who does that? It seems to be very profound. Like when I made those mean criticisms, the names that people called me, like in the real world, people don't come up to me and call me names. If you disagree with me, why would you go to that? I guess because Donald Trump does.
Well, it's also
like a
like
thing.
You may not have, I take it as you don't have a way to actually attack me. So then you go for the throat instead. You can't find holes in what I'm saying. And the best comments are the ones who are being like, well, you could have been nicer. Instead of calling you a
Why do I have to be nice?
No. Well,
that's what I'm saying. That's the whole
here,
conversation. It's like, why do I have to be nice? I wasn't going, you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. I was saying, you didn't do that right. And showing that as the right way to do something is wasteful and not fair to your audience who are watching, if they're watching, to get instruction on how to do something. That was pretty much my criticism.
Yeah. I think
I didn't go, you're an idiot.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. What my dad would say. He would say, you're being stupid, right? And I go, don't call me stupid. I didn't call you stupid. I said, stop being stupid. I was like, they're both the same thing. So I understand that you just can't randomly criticize. By the way, I like your jacket.
I wore it for you. This seems like a very Laurie thing.
Can I have it? I always say that to people when they have nice things. Can I have that?
It's wool.
I know. Can I have that? And homemade.
I don't know if it's homemade. It's got a tag in it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But look at that stitching. Do you see that? It looks hand done, right?
It looks hand done. Maybe not homemade. I shouldn't have said that.
I think it's just ancient.
It's lovely.
It's very nice.
Yeah. Okay. So are we? Where are we?
There's still more comments, but we can kind of skip over them because they're long. There's a lot of comments in here. So.
Well, thank you for everyone who commented. I think that's like really great.
I guess I'll respond personally to the ones that we didn't get to.
And our idea going forward is that we are going to say at the beginning of our videos or our podcast that we don't intend to be cruel or mean, but I am going to criticize. I am.
The pointers. Take it as a direction on the things that you don't know that you're pretending.
If I can take it, you can take it. And I'm really sensitive because I am sensitive, right? Because we both have ADHD and we also have what do you call it? That thing. What's it called? Sensitivity, hypersensitivity. This whatever. I don't HR whatever. But it means I'm really super sensitive to criticism. I don't know. I take it very personally sometimes, like really personally. But I get over it, right?
Well, and I think I'm a better person because of it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like if no one's telling me ultimately I want to know what I'm doing wrong in order for me to fix it in the first place. But if you're never telling me what I do wrong, then I can never grow. And that means that I'm harming other things in the process. So my feelings may get hurt, but I'm going to be mature enough not to call you a stupid idiot when you tell me that I'm doing something wrong. Hopefully. Not perfect.
No, and I'm going to try and deliver the criticism as best I can.
Well, I'll do my best to keep you in check.
Yeah, but sometimes no.
Oh, someone was like, what was it? It was my favorite comment. I appreciate both the gentleness of Sam and no nonsense Laurie. So I responded on like, I'm gonna make us T-shirts that say gentleness and no nonsense.
No nonsense. Well, but that is the truth. The truth is that I am critical, but I don't tolerate nonsense. Right? It is no nonsense. Like if you're coming to me with that it was incorrect and you didn't know better, you tried your best, it's fine. But if you're bringing me nonsense, right? Meaning like you haven't been thoughtful, you're bringing me something that you've rushed through, that you haven't paid attention to, that you couldn't care about, and saying ta-da, then I'm no nonsense. Like, that's nonsense. Like, that's not good.
Yeah.
Right? And then some of my students will be that. They bring me something and I'll go, and then they'll say, oh, tell me what you think. And I'm like, I will criticize or critique the things that you put effort into. But if you bring me something that you have paid no attention to, or you know that I'm not going to like it, like something really wrinkled.
Yeah.
And go like, this is my prom dress. And I'm like, aren't you going to press it? Like, I'll be no nonsense. Because like if you then say it's meant to be look like it ran over a truck, then you can defend it. But if you're bringing me something because you couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
That you didn't take care.
Don't show that to me.
Don't show that to me, and don't ask for my criticism about it, right? That's like...
Well, they weren't... The people on the internet aren't asking, but...
No,
I think it's important for someone to stand there and be like...
But it's all that same thing. It's like if your kid says, I'm going to wash the dishes, and then they put them in the drying rack and they're all greasy and nasty. I'm not going to go, good try on the dishes. I'm going to be like, they're not clean. Try again. And then you have the opportunity to go, I tried to do a good job, but obviously missed something. And I'd be, like hot water and soap, Google it. Like, I don't know. Like, that's nonsense. Right?
Yeah, well, we may need to be a little bit more gentle in between there, but...
Not asking the 8-year-old students if they're drunk when they sew crooked?
No, I think that's funny. I think that's something that should continue. As long as we don't get in trouble for it.
No, I like people who start out, right? And it's so fun. We were talking about this the other day of like people who come in and say funny things into the store, right? And so we get people come in and they go, I want blue fabric. And I'd be like, okay, blue fabric. So do you want, and I sometimes even goof with them. I'm like, do you want silk? Do you want cotton? Do you want polyester? And I know that they have no idea. And usually if they're asking for blue, it's because they're in cosplay or they're making a costume or something. And they just need to match the color.
Yeah.
And so they really don't know or don't care. And I'm totally fine with that, right? And then I say, what are you going to do? So I'm not criticizing like that. I'm not going, you got to know what you want to know and you have to, like, you don't know what you don't know. But so I wouldn't be critical in that point. But other things, just being full of nonsense.
Well, okay. How do we wrap this up?
The wrap up is that you're going to be gentle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be no nonsense. And we're going to do our best to talk about sewing and talk about tailoring and talk about fashion field and talk about education and talk about our students. And you can be gentle and I will be no nonsense. And hopefully we can share some good information about the things we know stuff about.
Maybe we'll meet in the middle someday.
Yeah.
Gentle and no nonsense. Okay. Do you want to, should we do our outfits?
Oh, yeah, we can do our outfits. You go first. Oh, dog hair. Oh, see? Critical right off the head.
Okay. You're just going to have to lift up your feet to like show me what you got going on. And I'll grab a lint roller so that,
you won't see it on camera. You never wear all black and then the dog.
I know.
Sitting on you.
Tofu's here too. So.
There is a lint roller right there, just in case you want. I know that. Where'd you get the little jacket?
That's fun. Forever ago.
And how come I've never seen it on you?
It's been on the island for quite some time. Because I normally wear it with this dress, and this dress is a bit too short to teach in. Oh. This dress I stole from my mom. Oh, I'm telling too much information.
It would look great with like a pair of like pinstripe pants.
Maybe I'll have to make. We don't have any pinstripe left, do we?
You could thrift a pair of men's ones and then turn them into something cool.
Make a tutorial on it.
Make a tutorial on turning men's pinstripe pants or something.
Okay, give me a spin. Let's see it.
Oh, the spin. Oh, I'm gonna get dizzy. So, the dress was donated fabric from one of our students.
Well, kind of donated, but she gave it to you very specifically.
Specifically for me, yes.
She had the fabric and was like, I'm not going to make anything out of this, but I know who will.
And the fabric was she needed, for whatever she needed one long length. So I think the fabric was so wide, and she cut like a strip all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
So all I had was a very long strip.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's so tight, because that's all I had to go around me. There wasn't 1 inch. There's like, I serged it because there was nothing in it. So I think it's like the tightest dress that I own. So I'm holding in everything, you know, so that I don't, so you can see I had 2 kid bellies. So, c'est la vie. And yeah, and it doesn't even have sleeves.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have enough fabric.
Mm.
So anyways, Cooly Wooly, it's just t-shirt fabric.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Forever 21 discount rack, $5.99 little jackety thing that I got.
You wear it all the time.
Yeah, I wear it all the time because it gives me broader shoulders, and I tend to, because I'm a bit short-waisted,
Mm-hmm.
I like, well, we know cropped things, because otherwise it sits here and then you can't see that I have a slimmer waist. I just look more too boxy. So I like sometimes giving it away, little shape. And I got Fluvog boots on.
Oh, these are Fluvogs.
These are Fluvogs, and they're blue and green.
I don't think I've ever seen these before.
Yeah, well, you know what? They were, I think, one of the first pair I bought, or the second pair, a long time ago. And I thought they were super cool, but I thought they'd be super comfortable, but they're so well made.
Yeah.
That they got leather inside. My foot slides forward,
Oh,
and my toes bash into the end. So in there being so
Do it
great.
when you're not walking.
Well, yeah, because my feet. But I bought some grippy things that you can put in, and so I'm going to put those in. They're meant for high heel shoes, but they're kind of like silicone, or they're kind of plasticky, goobery, like
Like
that.
They put on the socks?
No, they put them in. They're supposed to be cushions for your feet if you wear high heel shoes. They're little
Oh.
pads, but they're kind of sticky.
Mm.
And so I thought, oh, my feet will stick to them and not slide around so much.
Mm.
But they're kind of cute, huh?
Yeah.
They're very old, like 10 or 12 or 15 years old.
They make your feet look tiny.
Yeah, because they're nice and round, but it doesn't hold your thing in. Anything else?
Meanwhile, my shoes are way too
No.
tight. I think these shoes are done. I think I have to get rid of them. I've had them resold once. Here, I'll hold them up. These are the first pair of Demonias I bought. And
What's a
I've had-
demonia?
Demonia is a brand of shoe. They mostly do alternative. Like my big chunky boots are Demonias, so they're like the goth girl shoe.
Oh, yeah.
So these ones have little coffin buckles on them. I was really nervous when I first bought these to wear them into work because I was worried about what the parents would think about the coffins. But I've actually gotten quite a few compliments from the parents. But that's my conservative upbringing. Maybe it's not a big deal to have coffins on there.
No, I like them because you sound like a cowboy when you walk in them, because they jingle jangle.
Yeah.
And so instead of like,
My buckles are all shaking
Yeah,
around. There
and
used to be a chain on them that broke off pretty much immediately, so I would have been even more jingly.
Yeah.
And I click-clack in them too.
yeah.
But I've already had them resold once. Like I've gotten the heel redone, but the rubber on them, I can basically feel rocks when I walk over.
Resold them.
Well, they're pleather and they're peeling on the inside. That's kind of they're pleather. They're synthetic. This is one of my first big shoe purchases. I didn't know. So I don't think they look too bad from the outside, but you can definitely this is wearing thin. So I could take it into the cobbler and figure it out, but I don't know if that's happening or not. Yeah, these tights are kind of my magician tights. So I'm likening this to my magician outfit because I got like stars and then diamonds on one side. And then this dress I stole from my mom, and she's had it forever. It's just like a little denim dress. It's halter top, so I don't really wear it without a little jacket. And then my little jacket is thrifted. It's wool, and then it's got a bunch of rhinestones on it. It's all sparkly, and it reminds me a lot of Laurie.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Well, the wool is so business, and the rest of it is so dressy.
Yeah.
That it's really nice. I was saying it would look really great with like some pinstripe pants, like to play off like the
I'll have
businessy
to
part.
consider it because I find it hard to style. I don't have a lot of things like this in my wardrobe.
No.
So
You got it.
that's
You
the
got
outfit.
it. That's the outfit. Yay! Nicely done.